Finding high-quality sources can sometimes feel overwhelming. Fortunately, a growing number of AI-powered research tools make the process faster and more effective. However, you must use these tools in the right order. That's why this video demonstrates a research workflow that combines 4 tools: Consensus, Semantic Scholar, Research Rabbit, and Paperpal, to help you discover the sources you need to write stronger papers with less frustration. Okay, let's jump in. The first tool in this workflow is Consensus. Think of Consensus as your research reconnaissance tool. Before diving into hundreds of articles, you want to know what the research literature generally says about your topic. For example, you might ask a research question such as, does exercise improve memory? Is remote work associated with higher productivity? What factors contribute to student success? There are 4 key reasons why you should start with Consensus. First, Consensus provides a quick overview of existing research. Second, it helps you determine whether your topic is already well studied. Third, it saves time by preventing you from diving blindly into databases. Fourth, and finally, Consensus generates useful keywords and concepts for use in your search. Instead of getting lost in a maze of articles, with Consensus you begin with a clear, strategic understanding of the overall research landscape. Once you've identified important concepts and keywords with Consensus, now it's time for Semantic Scholar. This is when you build the foundation of your literature review. You want to use Semantic Scholar to search for seminal articles, locate recent publications, find the most highly cited studies, review abstracts, and examine citation counts. Consensus gave you the big picture, but now Semantic Scholar identifies the core studies that define the field and become the backbone of your research project. Now, after gathering your articles, it's time to uncover the connections that traditional searching often misses. This is where Research Rabbit comes in. First, import your most important papers into Research Rabbit. Then, the platform will create visual citation networks that reveal relationships among studies, authors, and research areas. This means that with Research Rabbit, you can explore citation networks, identify influential authors, discover related papers, find studies you may have missed, and track emerging research trends. These papers become your seed articles. Then, Research Rabbit expands outwards from those seeds, helping you to discover research that keyword searches may never reveal. At this point, you'll have a strong collection of articles. Now, it's time to read your sources carefully and take notes. Your goal in this stage? To identify patterns and themes. As you compare findings across studies, look for gaps, disagreements, and opportunities for further research. If you're conducting a larger project, such as a thesis or dissertation, this is also when you should use a tool such as Zotero to help organize your sources from the start. Zotero is a reference manager that allows you to store PDFs, organize citations, create collections, add annotations, and generate reference lists automatically. With this well-organized Zotero library, you can save countless hours later in the writing process. Now that you've completed your literature review and organized your sources, it's time to begin writing. As you do, focus only on developing your ideas. Don't worry about perfection, and especially not grammar. Concentrate on explaining the research clearly and accurately. Your goal in this first draft is simply to get ideas onto the page. Focus on progress, not polish. That happens in this next step. Once your draft is complete, it's time to refine your writing. This is where Paperpal becomes valuable. Paperpal is designed to help researchers improve the quality of academic writing. You can use it to check grammar and style, improve academic tone, enhance clarity and conciseness, review citations and formatting, and strengthen overall readability. Why use Paperpal as the final step? Because as an editing tool, not a discovery tool, its greatest value comes after you've gathered your sources, analyzed the literature, and written your draft. Paperpal becomes the final quality control check before submission. The biggest mistake researchers make is searching randomly and hoping to find good sources. However, a structured workflow is far more effective. That's why you should start with consensus to understand the field, use Semantic Scholar to identify foundational studies, expand your search with Research Rabbit, organize everything with Zotero, then write, revise, and polish with Paperpal. By following this sequence, you'll spend less time searching blindly and more time engaging with high-quality research. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.